Hello, everyone. We're back at JNation 2025, and with me I have Daniel Buzzini.
Nice.
Daniel, I think that we were speaking earlier, and I know that now you're living in Portugal, but you're not originally for Portugal, isn't it?
No, no, that's true.
So, can
That's
you tell
true.
us a bit more about your background?
Of course, sure, sure. I'm originally from Germany. And 3 years ago, basically, I got opportunity to come via my company here to Portugal. So we opened a hub, if you want so. Yeah, and they asked me if I could support in a way. And truth be told, which we were just talking about a little bit, my wife has like a Brazilian Portuguese background, and so we said like, well, that makes for a nice change of scenery. And so we came to Lisbon and we're loving it. I really have to say, like, I'm always crossing my fingers that we stay here long enough. Let's see. So yeah, but really loving the country, loving the people. It's a pleasure to be here.
So that kind of gives you a bit more of an advantage to come to this particular event to JNation. Is this your first
It
time?
is, it is actually, and that was also the reason. Like, it's my first time actually speaking a conference. Usually do it like let's say in the company scope, right? Where it's a little bit easier, I guess. Exactly, and now there was the opportunity. We said like we're also sponsors here from the event, and my people were pushing it. Then you're talking so much to us. Why don't you go and do it somewhere else, right? Like, and yeah, here I am. So.
So, what do you think of the event so far?
It's great. It's really great. Like, it's cozy. It's a wonderful location. Haven't been to too many conferences, but what I can say, it really feels lively. It really feels like also nice sessions so far. Really like it. But of course now
Perfect.
I'm excited, right? So move on.
So you still have to deliver your session today,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes,
And so
yes. Couple of
so
minutes.
so what's the topic of your session?
It is from parrots to philosophers, how the LLM or the reasoning in LLMs evolved, basically. And that sounds a little bit like, Jesus, Daniel, what are you talking about, right? Like, but it's the idea is basically we're looking a little bit like how the reasoning models, the latest from, let's say, OpenAI, o1, o3, and all of them, how they work, and what is thinking actually means that they do. And we're going to dive a little bit into the details, and especially like how they are trained, what does it actually mean when they are thinking, right? And I'm coupling it hopefully with a little bit of research, what is going on currently, and I hope some people show up and are interested.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that people will show up. This is one of the things about this event is that it runs for the whole day, and like many other events, they have an after party. But this event keeps people very engaged. It's not just oh, at the end we're gonna have some
That's
beers
true.
and talk, but
That's true.
it gives you the option to just engage
Yeah.
and talk to people very easily.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree. Like I already had like we as the speakers, right, like wonderful opportunities where I could meet new people, but in general also I have to say it was quite engaging so far, the conversations that I had. Absolutely agree.
Do you have a connection to Java?
I have. I started actually my career as a Java developer. So I used to be like many years ago a backend developer for quite a while. So first at one company, then I moved to where I'm working now. And all the time basically working in Java code. And just recently our company is doing a lot of Kotlin, I have to say. I'm also diving like a little bit into Kotlin. But and at the heart, you know, when you know the internals, you're still a Java developer. So I think I'm hopefully allowed to say that.
So, what's your take on what's happening this year, which is the 30th anniversary of Java?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's really crazy. Like if you look back, like Jesus, when I started like 2005 with my studies and also worked already part time, it was a different age. It was a different time. That's how it feels like 20 years ago. So we were just talking about, God, Jesus, like service buses and like, well, they're coming and going, right? Always, but in general, you could do so much with the language. You could. I heard today, like in our keynote about Quarkus, how you don't need this dynamic replacement anymore. And I remember that was the game, right? Like that was what you were looking for. So a lot of has changed. But I'm really also eager, I have to say, because like as you're saying, like the language is around for 30 years, and I always say, well, that's a good sign, right? So it means there's a future.
Yeah, and back in the day there was a lot of XML, which we luckily we
I
don't
didn't
see
want to
that
mention
much.
it. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
well, XML is part of the lifeblood of the enterprise, but nowadays is JSON and other formats.
Yeah, and just on a side note, I love that. I don't know if you read that. Like Claude, the one of the language models from Anthropic, is still better actually when you write like your prompt in XML than it is actually when you do it like just in your regular natural language. So maybe that's a hint for the future again.
XML is still something that will be with us for a long time. Okay, that's interesting to see. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the JNation audience?
What I'd like to share? That's a good question. So yeah, stay engaged. Basically, that's also like the end already. Like the result of all what I'm showing. Like meaning whatever the future will bring, it will change. And truthfully, humans are really bad in predicting that. So maybe do what you like to do and be passionate about it. And I hope I'm going to show that also a little bit with the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that great advice, and thank you for your time, Daniel.
Anytime.
And thank you everybody else for watching this additional interview.
Thanks.